Alright, okay, so what should I review next?
What the fuck? Oh, finally. Oh. Pat? Hello, Norty. What are you doing here, and why were you in my bathroom? Viewer 1 sent me to get you to start working on that Revenge of the Sith defense. Listen, Revenge of the Sith doesn't have a lot of haters. We don't really need to defend it. Because if you don't, I will be forced to explain to you every reason why you were wrong about the Hurt Locker. Oh god, no! Then start the review. So confused Matthew starts his review by saying, "No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm tired of editing these pictures together. My computer is slow enough as it is. There. That's the one picture you're gonna get throughout this entire review. Don't like it? Complain to somebody else." So he starts out his review saying the film was just as bad as the other two prequels, and in a lot of ways worse. Remember that for the Star Wars The Clone Wars defense. Wait, what? No, reviewer 1, I am not doing that. No, I'm not. Really, I'm not. He's gonna force me to do that one, isn't he? Oh, God. Matthew says he was tired of the wooden acting, covered that. The underdeveloped characters, check that also. The lack of story, not even gonna comment. The bad, ridiculous effects being dumped on the screen. Okay, that is just borderline troll. The underexplained motivations, stakes, organizations, actions, and inactions covered all of that, except for the inaction maybe. Oh wait, no. Reviewer 1 is gonna review more of the first two films? Oh, he wanted to comment on why the Jedi didn't save the slaves on Tatooine. Okay, that seems kind of obvious. It isn't part of the Republic, so it isn't their responsibility to go there, nor their place. He says it is great and guardians of truth and justice don't go to the one place that needs them. But they are the guardians of truth and justice in the Republic. They are basically the police force. I mean, what are they supposed to invade? Every planet that has laws or lack of laws that they think violate human rights? Yeah, that is normal. Like the US FBI frees North Koreans or Malay people, or people in Zaire or Kenya from cruel governments. Right, they fight human trafficking and women abuse and child slave labor by going there and fixing it. Oh no, wait, they don't. Instead, the American police arrest people who drive too fast, the same way Jedi deal with tax and border disputes. You comment in your Blade Runner review the justice system isn't perfect, but the best we got. Well, they act by the same principles. Any questions why the Republic doesn't exist on Tatooine? What, is he really suggesting they invade and assimilate it? But didn't he in his episode 2 review? Oh, fuck it. Do I have to explain that? Why that would be wrong? Anywho. And then he questions why the Jedi didn't save Anakin's mom. Maybe because they are against interfering with non-Republican worlds, and they never wanted to save Anakin from there. Qui-Gon did. And when he died, they were stuck with Anakin, and it would be unfair also to free one slave and not others. And again, the American police nor army don't go to some foreign country to free a slave mom who's the mother of a immigrant. Oh, and also Redlettermedia complains the prequels took inspiration from varying unrelated sources, where the original Star Wars borrowed from earlier iconic imagery. What does earlier mean? Anything before the films? That is very related. Inspirations of a film can vary a lot, and a film can have many different inspirations that come together in the film. Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill borrow from Western films, samurai, crime dramas, and Brian De Palma from Hitchcock. And the original Star Wars borrowed from Westerns and at the same time, War of the Worlds. Yeah, and I am so clearly seeing the connection here. Okay, please, can we stop retro-reviewing? Okay, so, as for the film. Redlettermedia again tries to criticize the spectacular-looking opening by commenting many movies now are made with CGI. Yes, and in the 80s, many movies were made with practical effects. Yet we love Die Hard and Speed, and again, what matters is how the effects look. And it was a great, fluent, uncut shot with detailed ships with shadows, varying sun reflections, complex explosions, size and mass, and Matthew again says it is bad and ridiculous. But the ship in the background again adds detail. Man, I have to repeat myself a lot. So, again, Redlettermedia comes up with really unfair criticisms. He complains we don't know who General Grievous is. Well, he is a general who has a high rank amongst the Separatists and is commanding them after Dooku's death. Somewhat like Governor Tarkin. What is vague here? His place in the story is clear, and he also is a well-developed character. He's impatient as we see him rushing into battle, cunning by fleeing when necessary, arrogant about his fighting skills, sadistic, bossy, taunting, and Redlettermedia questions why they made him funny. What, he is a bit of a quirky villain? Joker or Jabba or Green Goblin anyway? But anywho... Oh, and then we get the backtracking part. Yeah, so he complains Anakin wouldn't want to go back to help one clone trooper, as they were expendable people. Do I have to repeat that also? That they feel and think and therefore have value? And he comments that they would probably have gotten used to them dying at that point. So are you suggesting all longtime soldiers become non-caring, detached people? You don't even know what's going on here. And he comments Anakin would have been established as an asshole in Episode 2 again. Yeah, I mean, it isn't like he wanted to save Padme and Obi-Wan and stop Cuckoo there and save his mom. And yeah, so, anywho, we would get backtracking by them showing Anakin was indeed a great pilot, which we saw in Episode 1, already as flying the pod racer, which again hovers and flies in the air as piloting, and in Episode 2 in a space speeder chase. But now he says Anakin is lazily shown to be a great pilot. Here, as he just tells them to open all hatches and does spinning, yeah, and he lands the wing on his plane or another, quickly maneuvers past the closing ship doors and perfectly plans the coordinates for landing. But don't focus on the advanced orders that he gave. A basic one makes him not a great pilot, which is the equivalent of saying someone who is acclaimed as a chef and makes a luxurious 8-row dinner isn't really a great chef, as he told someone to put more pepper on something. Anywho, wow, Reviewer 1 is going Tourette's again. So anywho, when we get the complaint, the opening switches from humor, which is slapstick-based like the openings of all 3 original films have, goes to an exciting, perilous space battle. Yeah, combination of tensionful action and slapstick is so rare, except for the opening of all 3 original films, the Battle of Hoth and Jabba's ship, and R2 humor and action to a violent decapitation. Yeah, again, it isn't like Empire had violent torture and Luke's inner demons to C-3PO whining in a Luke versus Vader fight. Also, he complains the films usually are part of one genre. Yeah, except for more multi-layered films, crossing genre films with humor, action, and darkness. Where you mentioned Ghostbusters is this funny comedy, Gremlins and Indiana Jones, and again the original Star Wars, combined all these things, and he says the opening should be either a last fun adventure for Anakin and Obi-Wan, or Anakin darkly turning evil. But this fall is supposed to be dreadful, and of course, then there are the switches in tone. And by the way, there is physical humor as well as character humor in the opening of The Godfather, where there is a violent rape attempted. So anywho, man, this is getting repetitive. I'll see you in the next video.